actually the money which is going to be used in Zimbabwe is for the easiest change of the dollar, of the US dollar. No, you can't say it's now money, proper money. What they are using, $1, $2, and $5. Where are we going with the $5? Okay. Are you going to be earned only $5 when you are being earned $400? Okay. So it's changing of that US dollar. So there is no difference between a coin and that and point coin of the $2, the $1, and $5. Okay. That's the same. It is going to be used to ease the changing of the US dollar. Okay. That money is not for the money which is going to be used in Zimbabwe. It's for the easiest change of the dollar, of the US dollar. No, you can't say it's now money, proper money. What they are using, $1, $2, and $5. Where are we going with the $5? Okay. Are you going to be earned only $5 when you are being earned $400? Okay. So it's changing of that US dollar. So there is no difference between a coin and that and point coin of the $2, the $1, and $5. Okay. That's the same. It is going to be used to ease the changing of the US dollar.
All right, this is
in this region in SADC, the RTG, our RTG current currency, is the strongest currency in the region, and it makes our exports expensive. So we have a too strong currency, but some people think it is too weak because it's going to 5. No, it is actually the strongest currency in the region we have, if you compare it with the US dollar. So,
that is dealing with the frontline employees.
How deep is that, Homwe?
It's deep. Okay. It's sufficiently deep. Why? Okay. We are managing off the financial affairs very well, trust me.
All right, this is I'm more concentrating on how Ruvenek is looking at Mr. Mthuli Ncube, the finance minister. Actually, this is quite fascinating. Zwaka Rongeka, right? Hello gorgeous people, welcome to my channel. This is Uncensored with Rumbi. So guys, I want to say shout out to everyone who took their time to subscribe to our channel, and for those who actually came across this channel for the first time, I want to say, listen, you're actually at home. So please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, because every time I drop a video, you will be notified so you don't miss any of the content that I'm actually uploading here. So today we are really stuck with Mr. Mthuli Ncube because there's been a calling of him to resign. This is after a lot of things happened. So when I look at the hyperinflation today in Zimbabwe sitting at 717, like we have the highest inflation worldwide.
Prof, that there has to be some dialogue. There has to, and this shouldn't just happen post-election. It should be on an ongoing basis, because
to depoliticize the economy
and discussion about economic policy.
Because that's what we need. We need to actually move away from the politics and in fact ensure that politics runs just the course of the electioneering period, and then beyond that we need to depoliticize the whole society and we focus on the economy. Okay, having said that, now we just want to focus on a particular thing that happened just yesterday, and this is Mthuli's statement, which really the objective was to stabilize the economy, the macroeconomic problems. I think in its preamble, it speaks about growth in the economy and then says, but there are these concerns that the minister has, and he was going to address those concerns, and he had 7 points in which to address those concerns. Some of which we can speak about: 100% retention of domestic foreign currency earnings, adoption of external loans, and we'll go into the details. But to start off with, what I want to understand is, when you're reading that statement, is this a political or an economic statement coming from our good Professor Mthuli?
I like the prefix of Professor Mthuli because he is a fundi, and one thing which he knows is that whenever providing solution, you must diagnose the problem. just like medical doctors. Medical doctors will never just give you a prescription without a thorough diagnostic of your ailment, and you must be convinced that we are together. That's why you see when we go to medical doctors, when you have sugar, diabetes, and it is come to a difficult position, you even agree to let your leg go. But if Mthuli was my medical doctor, I would not allow him to cut my leg, because you might cut your leg when he must cut your hair. That's what happened when I was reading this statement. It was a wish-wash statement at the beginning, where he's trying to give us assurance that things are working. To me, it became political, because he's a minister of finance, and he's a decorated professor. And I must be very honest with him. Before I became a professor, when I was still a junior academic, he was my role model. I used to keep his CV. I remember I downloaded from African Development Bank, but I think now it's in my bin. Because I realized that I was keeping a wrong CV. The point I want to say is that he did not come out very clear to say our challenge right now, from the economist perspective, is a monetary phenomenon. Because I would want to argue that the rate is running away, and the major driver is money supply and liquidity. So you then see, as we discuss one by one, that he did not offer sufficient measures to deal with the liquidity. And even on the monetary side, he did not offer sufficient measures to deal with that. Then, most importantly, he did not also speak about the currency issue to say, this Zim dollar where it is, should we continue with Zim dollar? Or should we go to US dollar? And that is a position where he missed. And there were two options. To say, if he goes for a Zim dollar, he was supposed to be very exclusive than to be selective, which will come back and look at one by one.
So here's the danger. I think the economy or the inflation do not really allow most of our traders to actually charge the local currency, because the local currency is definitely losing value daily. So most of business people are deciding to charge in US dollars, but then the government feels like it's unfair to those that actually have local currency.
Clear. There is an element of dishonesty among operators. As government, what position are you going to take forward? You have listened to concerns from members of the public as well.
As government, we will not tolerate this kind of behavior, where shops are refusing the domestic currency and only accepting US dollars. You saw me, I was here with the manager here at Choppers, and I said him and I must take down that sign that says US dollars only. We cannot accept that as government. Both currencies have to be accepted. There's just a wanton increase of prices for no reason. Nothing changed between last week and this week. We're seeing maize meal going up, doubling, rice doubling in price. It's totally unacceptable and unjustifiable. So we end up as government then having to allow citizens to import anything in terms of 14 basic commodities when we open up the borders. And then the big shops complain and say that we're informalizing the economy, and yet it is them who are pushing up prices. We've also just discovered that the middlemen, and maybe it's mainly men actually, between the producers and retailers, these so-called aggregators are also part of the problem. So we've decided that on Monday we're going to fine and blacklist 6 of them. I won't mention their names, but I've got the list with me, that they must really stop this kind of activity. Any shop that starts behaving so badly, their license is going to go.
Alright guys, I'm one of the person who feels like we have been literally, guys, loitering around this issue for quite a long time. This actually decades, because the issue of inflation has been going on for a long time in Zimbabwe, and it seems like this is a joke. But guys, time is running out. We have a generation that is coming after us that is desperate to actually find a functioning country, clean, well managed, and all our buildings well maintained, roads fixed. So we have to do something like fast. We have no time. Time is on our side. And I just wanted to read some of the tweets that were sent out strongly by people who are concerned. And I think we are all concerned, but some of them are people very vocal. So there is Steve Hanke. He said the Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube should be tried for murder for sending the ZWD, which is the Zim dollar, to its grave. Today, I measure Zimbabwe's inflation at a stunning 791% per year. That's the highest inflation rate in the world. So that's exactly where we are. And that, again, just justifying the statement or the video that I'm going to let you guys listen to, where they said Zimbabwean people are the most miserable people in the world. Take a listen.
Working on something called the Misery Index. Can you tell us exactly what it is and what are your findings?
Okay, the Misery Index I do every year. This year I have 157 countries, and it's composed of 4 components. You have three bad items that create misery: unemployment, inflation, and bank lending rates. And you add those 3, Sarah, and you subtract one good thing that offsets and mitigates those miserable things, and that's the growth rate in GDP per capita. And we end up with who's at the top of the list. We've got Zimbabwe is number 1, the most miserable country in the world.
Too, she sent out a very strong tweet as well. No amount of standing in supermarkets by the minister will resolve Zimbabwe's economic crisis. Even a lay person knows that prices don't come down because you have walked into a store, given an illegal order to a tea operator or source assistant, fixed the fundamentals. So like I said, they're really fundamentals that needs to be dealt with. I'm not in economics, so I cannot give you the figures or the numbers or some counsel. But one thing that I want to say is that in Zimbabwe, we have very educated people. We have professors, we have economists, we have doctors. And if we really sit around the table, we will come out with a solution. But the question is, who is blocking the meeting? Because I think we have the solution, guys. If we sit around the table, definitely, I promise you can come out with a solution. So I have my brother, Dr. Hilary Masarurwa. He said, no. Mthuli Ncube, that's not how you tackle inflation. You can't force shops to lower prices just like that. Address the market fundamentals that are causing the local currency to depreciate, pushing prices up. While it's at its place, tender in your resignation you have filed. So the Lisa said, just render your resignation. I've heard many people say that Mthuli Ncube should resign. But here's my main concern. Mr. Mthuli Ncube can resign. But guys, our problem is not even his resignation. We have a very huge problem, corruption. And I think as long as we are literally sweeping this corruption thing under the rug, we're forever going to be loitering around the very same problems still don't have solution. And we know we have solution. We can resolve the problem. But you and me, we need to both roll our sleeves and do what's right. Not for myself, but for the whole of Zimbabwe. Because every Zimbabwean is desperate to actually have solution to the problem. We need to stand up and do what we have to do as a people of Zimbabwe. Now, I also firm believer that Zimbabwe, where it is right now, it's in a position where we need to take all our political differences aside and see how can we come up with a solution to move forward. That's what we need to do, brothers and sisters. We have what it takes because God has given us everything that we need. He takes away the spirit of fear because He knew that one day we're going to have to be standing in positions where we need to come up with solutions. We have what it takes. Blessed with the minerals, blessed with men and women of great minds. All we need is to take action. Maybe what we need to ask each other is, do we have the power of will? And then try to seek that, the power of will to make the right choices. Tell me what you think, guys, in the comment section below. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you ring the bell because every time I drop, I tell you we're going to meet next time. I love you all, guys. God bless you all. Bye for now.